Hi guys, whether it's poor health, ruined relationships, or a derailed life path, addiction has negative impacts on one's life. Out of all the impacts, negative financial impacts significantly stand out. Drug use on its own is expensive, and also the indirect impacts like medical bills, legal bills, debt, misappropriation of funds, loss of career opportunities lead to negative financial impacts. Sober What Next is a segment of the Stairway that will help us answer the question, what next? By meeting people who have lived on the other side of the fence during active addiction and have come out on the other side on long-term recovery with the answers to their what next. Today, we are joined by Vicky. Welcome, Vicky.
Thank you, Janet. So nice to be here.
So nice to have you.
It's
After
so
chatting.
beautiful.
So do you. You are gorgeous. Now,
Thank you.
let us start from the top.
Yes.
How has your journey been?
My journey was enlightening. I say enlightening because this journey reintroduced me to myself. So what I mean is that I ended up discovering myself. Yes,
Oh, wonderful.
yes.
What was your drug of choice?
My drug of choice was alcohol, vodka, to be precise, Smirnoff vodka. Yes. That was my drug of choice.
Okay.
Mhm.
And how long did the addiction go on?
I was in active addiction for a year.
A year.
Yes.
Okay.
A year.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
A year.
Okay, I'll say a year in some months because at the onset of COVID, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
When did you experience your Damascus moment? You see, that moment of realization that change is inevitable.
Okay. I like the word Damascus. So when the scales fell off from my eyes, okay. My Damascus moment happened in April of 2020. The onset of COVID. So previously what would happen is that as soon as my daughter left the house, then I would send a rider to, don't ask where the alcohol was. I was getting it at 7:30 in the morning, but yes. So now the kids are home with us. So that interrupted my regular programming as far as addiction was concerned, because now I couldn't drink very early in the morning or the whole day.
Yeah.
So it is at that particular moment when I was like, okay, maybe it wasn't as normal as I thought it was. Yeah. So I would say that was the beginning of my Damascus moment. Though I was still drinking, but just not as much.
And how did the addiction affect your life financially?
So what triggered my addiction was loss. So in 2018, I lost my job. And then I lost a lot of money. I invested in a business that didn't go so well. So that is what triggered my addiction. So by the time I am delving into addiction, I already don't have money. I mean, financially, there's no money. There's really no money.
But somehow you can afford to drink.
Yeah, but the little money that's left is what now I'm mismanaging.
Okay.
Yes. So misappropriation of funds now comes in there because now I already don't have much, but the little that I have, I'm not even managing it well.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, my addiction was leaning towards bankruptcy. Let me say, because I don't have anything.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
So your relationship with money was hand to mouth.
Yes. Yes. It was non-existent because I didn't even value money anyway.
Ah.
Yeah, it was non-existent.
Okay. And how did you deal with the fear of economic insecurity? Financial, like the fear that there's no money.
To be honest, Janet, there was no fear.
Which fear?
You
drank the fear away.
I would drink the fear away. So there's really no fear. And there was no much thought into economic. There was no
insecurity.
Fear. No.
Which one?
I would wake up with the fear, drink the fear away, and then face another day. So there was really no fear, to be honest. Yeah.
I get that.
Yes.
I get exactly what that means. Now, how did you begin to repair the damage? When does the beginning, what is that? You've said the Damascus moment is when you realize that drinking in the morning is not normal.
Yes.
But when did you start? What triggered the start, where you start now thinking of how can I get back to integrating myself into the society.
Okay, what happened was one time my daughter had a conversation with me. I think in her mind it was a conversation, but she was actually calling me out. Yeah, and it gets a bit emotional for me even now when I say I was in bed, obviously hungover, and she just came and she woke me up and she was like, "Mom, are you hungry?" I said, "Yeah, I'm hungry, but I'll soon be up, to fix something." And she said, "Mom, I really, really miss you." Wow, yeah. And obviously I knew what she meant. Yeah. So then she just closed the door and she went. And Janet, I sat down and I really wept. I didn't cry, I wept. Yes. Because I got to a place where I realized how selfish I was. This girl, she didn't ask to be my child. Yeah. And so that just dawned on me how bad of a steward I have been. I have failed God, obviously, who trusted me with this child. And here is my child who actually is saying that I miss you. And that was it for me, Janet. Yeah. That was it for me.
Things had to change.
I had to make a debate. There was no two ways about it. I had to change.
So at what point do you get into this momentum of making things change, where change is imminent, like where you can almost feel the change? Where did you begin with? What really gets somebody who's on the long-term recovery journey is, yes, there's the wanting, because you can see a loved one has opened up and has told you, this is not you.
Yes.
Self is gone, finding self. But most people get stuck there because how do we what to do? You shut your picture everywhere. So what happens?
So really it began as very, very practical small tasks. For example, laying my bed in the morning. Yeah, it's that basic. So I'd wake up in the morning, lay my bed, take a shower, make a meal. So small things like those. I started, like you said, self-care. If you know me, I always look good. Like for me, my image has always been, but then I got to a place where I didn't care much about what I look like. And this includes even things like taking a shower. For me, I used to feel like it's such a task. And the drinking would help, because then now you've drunk the whole day. You're tired, so nitaoga kesho. So I started like that, small things, making my bed, taking a shower, taking walks, Janet. There is so much power, healing power with nature.
That is true.
Yes. So for me, that's how I started. For reputation, unfortunately or fortunately, I haven't been one to, really care about that, because I've been criticized for a very long time. So when I was a child, I was the loud child. When I was a teenager, I was the... So it's, for me, the reputation, what weighed heavy on me is that I only have one job, which is to be a mother, to steward my child. That is all God wants me to do, Janet. And I wasn't doing it. So for me, it was Naima's statement. Yeah. For me, it's just the thought of, I have failed this child. And she was 9 at the time, and I was just like, no. Now, a very, very big chunk of that rebuilding for me was identity, finding myself again. And that's why in the beginning, when you asked me about the journey, I said it reintroduced me to me. Yes. So finding my identity. Who am I? Who is Victoria?
Yes.
Yeah? What is my purpose? Why am I here? Yes. So those hard, complex questions, and then constantly, just brushing to my child. I'm like, how do you feel? What do you think about my progress so far? So it's those things. So I had to unlearn a lot of things, relearn a lot of things, and also just learn as I move along. Because now the Vicky that I knew was, I have to be on top of things. I have to make things done. The fixer, the solution giver.
Yeah.
But now I had to come to a place of me and purpose that, God, the universe, why am I here? All right?
So with your daughter as your accountability partner.
Oh, yes.
So you used a tool that I know. You used a tool that I know of called moral inventory.
Oh, yes.
Where you got an accountability partner who is candid and so authentic with you and so true to tell you. You have to be ready to hear the good, bad, and ugly.
Oh, yeah. Children will tell you. As long as you provide a safe space for a child to express themselves, you will get the most genuine response.
That's true. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Did you explore therapy?
I did. I did explore therapy because at some point, Janet, I did have a place to stay. So there's a pastor friend of mine called Ernest who referred me to a shelter in Karen.
Okay.
So what happens at the shelter is that we have weekly therapy sessions. So that's how I got into therapy. Yes.
Okay. Now there's this thing called making amends. Did you explore that one as a repair tool?
To be honest, I'll say no, majorly. Because the two main amends I made was with my bank.
Making amends with the bank, that's a good one. She made amends with the bank.
With my bank and obviously my child.
Yeah.
Recently, about 2 months ago, I reached out to a friend.
So that's more of relationships.
That's more,
nothing to do with your finances.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, just to know. Okay. So those are the majorly no.
Making amends is a brave.
It is.
And a very brave act because you actually go into the fire accepting your fate. Had you gotten into debt during
election? Oh yes. I was auctioned. I was auctioned. I had to move out. Now hence my needing a place to stay. Yes. Now that's what made me end up at Hope Center.
And so there was no much as you're getting integrated back into the community. There was no much at you needed to pay debts.
No. Thank God for the auctioneers because
but there's nothing to take.
There's nothing to take. So it's just
No, it's good. It's good to reach where you. It's good to reach the place where you look at it like that because it's like you're starting on a clean slate.
Yes.
Where you just have your inner work to do. And now to get your footing, and actually now, as you get grounded, you notice you're gifted. You see,
largely.
And that is when people tend to realize their purpose.
My daughter calls
their
it
mission in
a
life.
superpower. She says, "Mom, you just have a superpower.
Oh.
Something is happening, I said, yeah. I had to go through that. And those are the valley moments that we don't talk about, Janet. We like to give the mountaintop stories. We like that, but we forget it's these valley moments that aid us and propel us to those mountaintop moments. So it's very important to celebrate the valley. Just be happy, Try and find joy in the valley moments.
That is true.
Yeah.
Now, did you receive support from other people as you were building up?
Yes, I do. I did receive a lot of support. I got support, financial support. I got a lot of emotional support as well as spiritual support. Yes, I had people who would, in fact, let me just mention him, my pastor. Hi, Pastor Pete. Yeah, I had people who just send food to my house, send me money.
So you could receive.
Yes. And also another thing I forgot to mention, Janet, I learned how to ask for help. Because for me, asking for help was very difficult. I'm not there yet, but at least I'm not where I used to be.
See, what I really mentioned is that human beings may know how to give, but you need to also learn how to receive and know the level of humility it takes to receive. And receive graciously.
Yes.
Where you are receiving, and the moment you are open to receive, it comes.
Oh yeah.
Naturally.
Oh yes.
You become a conduit to receiving.
Yes. You're right.
Imagine it.
And it was that fear of, I think what keeps us bound is the fear of
Watanionaje?
rejection, ama wambiwe no, you know. So once I overcame that fear, then for me asking, and then I realized, guess what? The universe, God, they're all working in my favor. Before I even present the needs.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
So then navigating has become easier. Yes. Navigating has become easier. So to answer your question, yes, I received a lot of help, emotional help. My therapist, Dr. Stella Kerongo, Catherine Miley, we talked to date.
Yes.
These women worked with me.
Yes.
My pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that support
so
was there, and it's been there, and it's consistent till today. And I thank God for that.
So how has your journey been serving the community? Like what you do now for a living? How has it been? How is the reception?
Okay. First, obviously, there are people who think, you're not genuine. That is fine.
Yeah.
And then there are those who really see what I'm doing. So let me say, this whole journey birthed my purpose. And so I have 2 organizations, Mamas with a Purpose and Victoria Stimulation.
Okay.
And I'm a mental health advocate.
Yes.
I am so passionate about mental health. Yes. So that's what I do. I just offer support. I offer mentorship wherever I am needed, whenever I am needed. If it's God's will, then I do it. And I do it passionately and wholeheartedly. And Janet, there's nothing as good as working with someone and seeing them on the other side.
Oh yes.
On the
fulfillment is on another level.
People don't understand.
I understood why happiness had to come through that.
Yeah, and then another thing I think is the whole just overcoming the shame, because I realized that all these things thrive in shame.
Yes.
And shame thrives in silence.
Yes.
So the moment you're ashamed of talking or you're silent, then you're still bound. But when we come out here and
there's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide. What would you tell somebody out there who is rebuilding, and who is on the journey or on the journey to recovery, on the journey of recovery,
yes,
and is rebuilding? What advice would you give them right now?
I'll say 2 things. Number 1, love every version of yourself. Your past self, your current self, and the person that you're working towards becoming. And number 2, be patient with yourself. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Vicky.
Thank you for having me.
Your story has been eye-opening.
Yeah.
I love everything about the journey that you've had, and keep serving us.
Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you so much for what you're doing.
I mean,
Janet, I think you're one of those people who, at another time, I would have called random or spontaneous, but really, you know why you're here, and you're doing it.
You.
And you're doing it. Yeah, I mean, other people waste time. So thank you as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah. That was it for today, guys. And as you know, I have to leave you guys with something sweet. You can reset, refocus, and readjust in life as many times as you need. Be blessed.